The county fair shut down at midnight, with paper cups across the ground. The ticket booth had pulled its shutters, but the Ferris wheel kept turning round. You stood beneath the painted horses, holding shoes beneath your arm. Said the traveling band from Tulsa had offered you a place till dawn. You laughed like I had told a story, then asked who filled my head with plans. I said the woman at the organ needed someone who could sing and stand. They had one bunk inside the trailer, $40 every night. You said that isn't work, that's running. I said at least the road pays right. You had a job at Miller's, pouring coffee till I bent. You had a room, I paid for half. You had a name here, mostly yours. The wheel kept lifting empty seats above the argument below. After closing at the fairground, every light looked twice as bright. You called the road a foolish promise, I called this town a smaller life. After closing at the fairground, where the music packed away, you wanted me beside the truck. I wanted one choice you could not make. I showed you $27 folded underneath my dress, enough for food until Missouri, if the organ player kept her word. You asked when I had started saving. I said the week you sold my coat. You said the heating bill was overdue. I said that was not yours alone. I remembered every winter when the pipes froze near the wall. Remembered you asleep till noon, after singing weekends and calls. I said the road would wear you hollow. You said the town had started first, then pointed toward the darkened midway and said at least they pay for every verse. You think concern gives you permission? I think I know how this can end. You know the woman who stayed with you. I know the road does not pretend. We kept confusing being frightened with the right to choose for someone else. After closing at the fairground, every light looked twice as bright. You called the road a foolish promise, I called this town a smaller life. After closing at the fairground, with the music packed away, you wanted me beside the truck. I wanted one choice you could not make. Were you leaving me? I was leaving town. That sounds the same. Only if you think you are the town. Would you come back? Maybe. Would you write? When I had something honest. The hardest part was learning that love and permission were not the same. I could drive you to the trailer. Would you? I could carry the suitcase. Would you? I could say I'm scared. That would be new. The wheels stopped turning before either one moved. engine started. I climbed the steps, I held the door. You gave me my shoes, you gave me the room key. One of us left with a road, one stayed without a guarantee. After closing at the fairground, the last bulbs faded one by one. You watched the trailer cross the bridge before the morning work began. After closing at the fairground, I did not leave to make you small. I left because the voice kept shrinking when it only sang inside one hall. After closing at the fairground, we finally chose without disguise. You let go my suitcase. I stopped asking you to like it. Did the band keep you? 3 seasons. Did you come home for my mother's birthday? Did you stay? Stayed red till morning. 3 letters missing from the name. You stood beneath the office awning, holding one case in the rain. I carried yours across the gravel, left mine inside the Chevrolet. You said, don't turn this into kindness. I said, I never claimed it that way. You rented room 11 with the last cash in your coat. Said the highway made men honest. I said, roads don't make men whole. You tried to call the room a pause. I pushed the key across the bed. Said, I did not come for shelter. I came to hear what you never said. I left because I was ashamed. You left because it cost you less. I thought the miles would clear my head. The miles only moved the mess. The red sign buzzed above us while the room held every word. The motel sign stayed red while every alibi went pale. You called the room a second chance. I called it one more place to fail. The motel sign stayed red and burned above the bed. You wanted shelter from the damage. I wanted what you never said. The bedspread smelled of smoke and bleach. The sink had one cracked glass. You placed your wallet by the lamp like money could repair the past. I asked about the woman in Richmond. You said it ended months ago. I said, then why'd she call last Thursday? You said, because she didn't know. I asked about the man from Tulsa whose number lived inside your purse. You said he only fixed the Buick, then admitted something worse. You said he listened when I shouted. You said he never raised his voice. I said, then maybe I should thank him. You said, don't confuse relief with choice. You count betrayal by the body. You counted by the door. I left before I left completely. I left 100 times before. We had no clean confession, just 2 versions on the floor. The motel sign stayed red while every alibi went pale. You called the room a second chance. I called it one more place to fail. The motel sign stayed red and burned above the bed. You wanted shelter from the damage. I wanted what you never said. Did you love him? Not enough to leave for him. Did you love me? Enough to stay too long. Then what was this room for? To stop pretending that staying and loving were the same thing. The trucks kept moving past the window. Wow, one sentence changed the room. remains the same. Then tomorrow I will speak less and do called the bus station.
I bought one ticket east.
I asked where you were going.
Somewhere no one knew the story.
The red sign switched off before the bus arrived. The motel sign stayed red. Through every lie we could not keep.
Through every word we folded flat and shoved beneath the sheet.
The motel sign stayed red until the morning cut it down.
You drove back toward the house alone. I took the first bus out of town.
The motel sign stayed red, but it never called us home.
It only lit the place where we stopped using love to excuse what we had done.
Did you keep the key?
No.
Did you keep the ticket?
For a while.
Did you ever go back?
Never.
The sign turned red each evening
for people who never knew our names.
Charged by the hour, and the clock began at 10. The engineer lit one cigarette and said, "Sing it once, then sing again." We had borrowed $20 in a car that coughed in second gear. You stood behind the left-hand microphone and said, "Don't make me disappear."
You brought a song about a working man who lost his house and kept his pride. I said the woman in the second verse does all the work and stays outside.
You said the label wanted something simple, 3 minutes, one refrain. I said simple is what men call a story when they've removed the woman's name. They paid for my song.
They paid for both voices.
They asked me to lead.
They asked me to sing.
The engineer leaned toward the glass and said, "Decide before the tape begins." The record we cut for cash had one side yours, one side mine. You sang about keeping the house. I sang about keeping time. The record we cut for cash
turn one argument into sound.
3 minutes pressed into black vinyl,
with me the one backing down. On take 2, you changed the ending. Made the woman wait beside the door. I stopped the band before the downbeat. Said she does not wait anymore.
You threw the pencil at the music stand. The drummer looked away. I rewrote 4 lines on the cigarette box and sang them before you could say. You made a leave with half the money and the good coat from the hall. I said the man would never let her. You said then he never knew her at all. The engineer wrote tape in silence. The red light stayed above. We sang two different endings and somehow both of them held up.
You want the song to save the man.
You want the song to punish him.
I want the woman to make a choice.
I want the truth to stay within. The band kept playing through the argument because the groove was better there. The record we cut for cash
had one side yours, one side mine. You sang about keeping the house, I sang about keeping time.
The record we cut for cash
turned one argument into sound.
3 minutes pressed into black vinyl
with neither one backing down.
Why'd you change my last line?
Because it lied.
It rhymed.
That isn't the same.
Why'd you take the final chorus?
Because you took the first two verses.
The engineer said, keep fighting exactly like that. That is the first honest take. From the bridge again, and don't smooth it out.
I wasn't going to.
Neither was I.
The tape rolled
before either one was ready.
You took the low.
You cracked on the last word.
You dragged the second beat.
The drummer missed the stop.
The organ came in early.
It was the only take that sounded like two people
instead of a plan. The record we cut for cash had one side yours, one side mine. Your ending kept the man inside.
My ending crossed the county line.
The record we cut for cash
sold 40 copies in a week.
But every person who bought one
heard the argument beneath.
The record we cut for cash
never made the radio play.
But the engineer kept the master
because he said the fight could stay. Did we split the money?
After the studio fee.
How much was left?
$6.
Who kept the record?
The drummer.
He said it was the first love song
that sounded like two people.
Halfway through the second set, the piano died beneath my fingers and the exit signs went red. Someone dropped a whiskey bottle. Someone laughed beside the bar. You stood holding one last note after every wire went dark.
The room went still around my breathing. Then the people struck their matches. Little flames above the table, shaking inside lifted glasses.
You said we ought to wait for power. I said they paid to hear a song, then stamped one heel against the floorboards and sang the next verse without one. There was no microphone.
I had a voice.
There was no band.
You had a choice.
I thought the night was finished.
Only the machines had stopped.
The room began to find a rhythm with its hands against the dark.
The night the power went out,
we heard what wires had covered.
Every cracked note, every breath, every voice beside another. The night the power went out,
no spotlight chose a face.
We sang until the room itself became the only stage.
kitchen doorway started singing harmony. The bartender kept time with bottles, and the cook came out in white. A boy who swept the floor on Fridays found 2 spoons and joined the beat. Even the owner stopped complaining when the whole room found its feet. I watched you sing without the speakers, without the reverb, smoke, or wire. Nothing softened every fracture, nothing lifted every cry. You sounded older, harder, clearer than the records ever showed. And I understood why people listened. You made effort audible.
You always trusted equipment.
You always trusted force.
You thought volume made the feeling.
You thought pain improved the source.
That night the truth was somewhere between a whisper and a roar. The night the power went out,
we heard what wires had covered.
every cracked note, every breath, every voice beside another. The night the power went out,
no spotlight chose a face.
we sang until the room itself became the only stage.
I used to think your broken notes
Meant you were losing control.
I used to think your quiet voice
Meant you were hiding from the song.
maybe both were partly true.
Maybe neither tells it all.
A voice is not the damage, it is what a person does when damage answers back.
Sing the line again.
Which one?
The one you always lower.
I cannot reach it clean.
Then do not reach it clean.
The room leaned forward before the note arrived.
Nobody stopped.
The microphones came on.
We stepped away.
The owner waved us closer.
The people shouted, stay.
For once the amplified version
Felt smaller than the room. The night the power went out,
we learned what sound was carrying.
not perfect pitch, not polished lines, but 20 people answering. The night the power went out,
Every voice arrived exposed.
the faults became the evidence. Then everybody chose. The night the power went out,
We finished without machines.
you took the high line, torn and rough.
I took the one beneath.
The night the power went out,
The whole room sang the end.
not because the song was flawless, but because it needed them.
Did they fix the wiring?
The following week,
Do we use the microphones?
not for the last song,
Why not?
because the room remembered.
And 20 voices
Did not need permission to begin. To begin.
They opened Miller's barn at 9 with folding chairs across the floor. His tools were boxed beside the tractor. His winter coats hung by the door. The auctioneer raised up a guitar with one dark burn below the bridge. Said old spruce top repaired neck, who start the bidding here at 10.
I knew that Memphis had the sound hole from the stove fire back in June. Your father played it after supper when nobody asked for any tune.
You lifted one hand from the third row. I raised mine before you spoke. You turned around and saw me bidding, then smiled like you had heard a joke. That guitar belongs with family.
Then why was it for sale?
I came to bring it home.
You came when all the work had failed.
The auctioneer kept counting upward while the bond remembered well. We bid against each other for a guitar neither owned.
You wanted back your father's music.
I wanted proof he wasn't alone. We bid against each other
While the price climbed past our means.
one old instrument between us and 20 years beneath the strings. I said you only knew 3 Sundays when you sat beside his chair.
You said I never visited sober.
So attendance wasn't care. I said he taught me every chord there.
You said he taught you how to lead.
The auctioneer called $50,
And neither one of us would breathe.
I brought him groceries every Thursday, changed the strings when his hands shook, read the letters from the county when his eyes could barely look. He sent postcards from the highway with no return address or date. He kept everyone beneath the case and never once called them too late.
You think absence cancels loving?
You think staying makes you right?
I saw what the years require.
I carried him every night.
2 people can inherit grief
And still divided badly. We bid against each other
for a guitar neither owned.
You wanted back your father's music.
I wanted proof he wasn't alone.
We bid against each other while the price climbed past our means.
One old instrument between us
And 20 years beneath the strings. What would you do with it?
Play it.
You never learned his tuning.
I learned enough.
Would you keep it in the case?
Would you?
Maybe.
Then neither one of us deserves it.
If possession is the plan.
The auctioneer raised the hammer and waited for another hand.
75,
80,
90,
90.
110.
That is all I have.
Then stop.
Will you?
No!
The hammer stayed above us like a question made of wood. Hey!
The man behind us bid 120.
Neither one of us knew his face
He wore a railroad jacket.
and held a photograph in place.
He said Miller taught me music.
Back when I came home from war,
The bond went quiet.
and suddenly the guitar
Had one more history than ours. We stopped
bidding against each other.
and let the old man take it home.
He knew a verse we had forgotten.
And the tuning Miller always used.
Oh, we stopped bidding against each other.
Because grief is not a claim.
One guitar carried more than family.
song.
He played beside the empty tractor, and both of us
sang along. Did we lose it?
No,
Did we keep it?
no.
Then what was left? The song. And for once,
That was enough.
your brother's Chevrolet, woo, was never ours to lose.
But every bad road between us
Had two people
making moves. The window stayed open all through June, though the nights were colder than they looked. Your boots were drying by the stove, and my name was missing from your book. I heard the freight train pass the river, drag its iron through the dark. You said leaving was a kind of mercy, then struck the match and missed the mark. I did not ask you to stay, I asked you not to lie. There is a difference in the doorway when one of us still tries. Carry me through the long heat, past the road where the cornfields bend. I have slept beside your silence, I will not sleep there again. Carry me through the long heat, let the red dust cover my shoes. I have spent enough of my good years making excuses for you. The kitchen clock stopped after midnight. You never bothered setting it right. I learned the hour from passing trucks and the color leaving morning light. Your sister called from Amarillo, said you owed her 35. I said he owes me something harder than hunger before she could reply. You wore sorrow like a jacket when it helped you leave the room, but sorrow never washed the glasses or paid the rent that came in June. Carry me through the long heat, past the road where the cornfields bend. I have slept beside your silence, I will not sleep there again. Carry me through the long heat, let the red dust cover my shoes. I have spent enough of my good years making excuses for you. I kept the jar you filled with quarters for a trip we never made. I used them at the laundromat the week the power bill was late. I kept your photograph face down beneath the flour and the salt, not because I missed the picture, but because I knew whose fault. You were not a star, you were a stayed open, the boots stayed wet. The train went east and I went west.
I bought that house on Mason Street with money borrowed from your aunt. The roof was sound, the pipes were rusted, and the furnace coughed when winter came.
You stood inside the empty parlor, said at least the floor is straight.
I said we'll put the curtains up tomorrow.
Tomorrow stayed inside the crate.
You painted one wall dark tobacco,
then disappeared for half a week.
came home carrying 2 bar stools and a story you could barely speak.
I scrubbed the kitchen after midnight while you slept dressed on the stairs.
Every window faced the neighbors, and still we never hung the curtains there. I thought the walls would make us steady.
Walls only show where something ends.
I thought a key meant I belonged there.
You kept losing yours with friends.
We built a place where everyone could see us, and no one knew what happened in the house with no curtains. Showed every lamp we left burning,
Every plate beside the sink,
every night one of us waited
while the other tried not to think.
the house with no curtains
Had nothing left to conceal.
The whole street saw us living there,
But never saw us living real.
I worked the mill from 6 till evening, came home with metal in my clothes.
You said the silence at the table felt like punishment nobody chose.
I said I paid the heat and mortgage.
You said that isn't being here.
I turned the radio up louder,
Because the answer sounded clear. I took a job down at the diner, served your foreman coffee twice.
you said you spent your Friday wages
Playing cards behind McBride's.
I found the notice in your jacket,
3 months late and stamped in red.
you asked why I went through your pockets.
I asked why the instead.
You called suspicion disrespect.
You called every mistake a sign.
You hid the truth beneath the mattress.
You kept a list of every lie.
We knew exactly how to count the damage and never how to divide the house with no curtains. Showed every lamp we left burning,
Every plate beside the sink,
every night one of us waited
while the other tried not to think.
the house with no curtains
Had nothing left to conceal.
The whole street saw us living there,
But never saw us living real.
the night you packed the blue suitcase.
I stood beside the kitchen door.
You said you'll miss the house by Monday.
I said I never had it before.
I meant the room,
I meant the life.
I thought they were the same.
That was always your mistake.
A house can hold two people. Yeah.
Yeah. You ordered eggs at midnight, then complained the yolks were cold. I said you'd spent our rent on whiskey. You said the story had grown old.
The waitress filled my cup in silence
while you folded up the bill. I watched your thumb press down the corner like money might obey your will.
You came in wearing Sunday lipstick with my brother's coat around your back. Said you only borrowed it for weather, but the sky outside was black.
You asked me why I kept on staring.
I said you know exactly why.
The cook turned off the kitchen radio,
and every booth began to listen.
You always make a room choose side.
You always bring the jury first.
You spend the truth before the money.
You make the smallest sentence worse.
The waitress laid the check between us like a thing that might decide. $6 on the table, 2 for coffee, 4 for pride.
One of us said, I am leaving.
Both of us stood up outside. $6 on the table, creased beneath the sweating glass.
We still argue who walked out first,
because neither one went fast. You followed me across the parking lot with one shoe half untied. Said, don't make this another ending.
I said,
you make them every night.
you grabbed the handle of my car door.
I said, take your hand away.
You called that proof I never loved you.
I called it Tuesday afternoon. after payday.
You threw the keys into the gravel and said I'd driven you too far. I spent 10 minutes on my knees there, searching underneath the car.
The waitress watched us through the window with a cigarette held low.
You shouted, tell him I was leaving.
She shook her head and locked the door.
You say I left you by the roadside.
You drove away, then circled back.
You say I begged you through the window.
You asked which tire had gone flat.
We have told that night so many ways. The facts no longer matter.
$6 on the table, 2 for coffee, 4 for pride.
One of us said I am leaving.
Both of us stood up outside. $6 on the table, creased beneath the sweating glass.
We still argue who walked out first,
because neither one went fast. I remember you said take the money.
I remember you said keep the change.
I remember choosing not to cry.
I remember rain.
It never rained.
Then why were your sleeves wet?
You poured your water when you stood.
That is how a marriage ends.
Not with truth, but with 2 versions.
Both remember good. Who paid the bill?
I did.
Whose money was it?
Mine.
Who left first?
The waitress. She had more sense than either one of us. $6 on the table,
Underneath the coffee stain,
we kept counting what the night cost
while repeating it again.
$6 on the table,
One receipt and half a lie.
you say I left without you.
I say you never asked me why.
$6 on the table, still more honest than we were,
The waitress swept it into her apron.
and forgot what we preferred.
I drove south.
I walked east,
You called it dawn.
you let it ring. $6, 1 cold breakfast, and no agreement on a single thing.
Just past 2 on Friday, with the fuel light burning red. The clerk was reading yesterday's paper and nodding like he'd heard what I had said.
I bought black coffee, 2 aspirins, and a pack I swore I'd quit. Then saw your Buick by the air pump with the driver's door half open.
I told my sister I was working late,
and told my husband you were gone.
I parked beneath the broken floodlight,
where the moths kept beating on.
You walked inside without your wedding ring.
I left mine underneath the seat,
The night shift clerk turned down the radio,
like he knew we'd come to speak.
We said it was the last time.
Every time before,
We said we only needed coffee.
then stayed till 4:30.
The man behind the counter never asked what we came for.
The night shift knows our names,
Knows which stories never change.
knows your car beneath the floodlight,
Knows my hands against the glass.
the night shift knows our names,
And the houses where we claim
we were sleeping through the hours
while the trucks kept rolling past.
You said your daughter had a fever and your wife had called you twice. I said my husband worked till morning, though I knew he checked the drive.
We split one sandwich from the cooler,
You took mustard, I took bread,
and neither one of us said clearly
what we wanted from the mess.
You kept a motel key inside your purse from a room we never used. I kept your number under transmission, like that made the lie less crude.
The clerk replaced the coffee filter and stacked cups beside the till. We sat beneath the humming ceiling.
Pretending choice had left us still.
You call this love when you are lonely.
You call it wrong when daylight comes.
You ask me not to make demands.
You ask me not to run.
We keep returning to the same bright room because the dark makes cowards of us. The night shift knows our names,
Knows which stories never change.
knows your car beneath the floodlight.
Knows my hands against the glass.
The night shift knows our names,
And the houses where we claim
we were sleeping through the hours
while the trucks kept rolling past. What did you tell him when you got home?
that the diner lost the power.
What did he say?
He checked my shoes and asked why gravel smelled like diesel.
What did you tell her?
That your truck had stalled,
It did.
not there.
We had enough truth for two small lies and used it all before sunrise. Did you ever mean to leave her? Yes.
Did you?
No.
Did you ever mean to choose me?
Sometimes. What does that mean?
It means the clerk knew better than to believe either
He started calling me black coffee.
He called me change for 10
He stopped asking for our names.
because he knew when we'd come in.
He saw me leave before you.
He saw me wait behind. Some strangers know your habits better than the people in your life. The night shift knows our names,
Knows the price and knows the shame.
knows the quarter by the payphone and the ash beside the drain. The night shift knows our names,
But he never joined the blame.
he just watched two grown people keep returning to the same. The night shift knows our names.
And one night closed the store.
We sat outside beneath the dark sign with nowhere left to go.
I drove home first.
I stayed till dawn.
The station opened Monday.
I never went again
The night shift knew our names.
before we learned to stop using them.
Your mother's funeral ended at 11. rain drying white along the churchyard wall. Your cousins carried folding chairs downstairs while I stayed near the coat rack in the hall. Someone put ham beside the coffee urn. Someone wrote a name across a cake. You handed me a paper plate and asked how much more silence I could take.
You wore the tie she bought you back in '80, crooked at the collar, pulled too tight. I watched you thank the women from the choir like manners could get you through the night.
Your brother stacked the casseroles in rows. Your father never left his chair.
I said, she asked for you last Tuesday.
You said, I know, I wasn't there. I have the truck in pieces.
You had a telephone.
I thought there would be times.
She died before you chose.
The basement smelled of coffee and every excuse we owed. At the funeral lunch at St. Luke's, we passed the bread and kept score.
You blamed the road, I blamed your leaving.
Your father stared at the floor.
At the funeral lunch at St. Luke's, grief sat down in every chair.
Nobody asked us to behave,
but everybody heard us there.
She kept your letters in the pantry,
Rubber banded near the flower tin.
every Christmas card you never answered,
Every photograph you weren't in.
I found them when I brought her groceries.
She said, don't tell him what I say.
I said, why protect a grown man?
She said, because regret arrives too late.
I knew she saved what I had written. I didn't know she read them twice. I kept saying I would drive down Sunday.
Then Sunday needed something else.
I sent her money through my sister.
Called that proof I had not gone.
You said a check can pay the heating,
but it cannot sit beside someone.
she wanted your voice,
I know,
not your money.
I know.
Then stop defending what you sent.
I have nothing left to show.
The truth came out between the plates
With nowhere else to go. At the funeral lunch at St. Luke's,
we passed the bread and kept score.
you blamed the road, I blamed your leaving.
Your father stared at the floor.
At the funeral lunch at St. Luke's, grief sat down in every chair.
Nobody asked us to behave,
but everybody heard us there.
Did she ask if I was coming?
Every week,
What did you say?
that work was hard,
Why cover for me?
because she slept better.
Was that kindness?
No, it was one more person,
Carrying your absence.
so you wouldn't have to.
I missed the last call.
You missed more than that.
I know.
Then say what you missed.
Her last birthday, her new glasses, the porch she had painted, and the chance to hear her complain again.
The room went quiet
When the list
became alive. Your father stood up.
he took my plate,
He said enough.
I thought he meant us.
He meant the excuses.
What did he say?
Your mother knew you loved her.
She also knew you stayed away. Both things could be true, and neither canceled the other.
At the funeral lunch at St. Luke's,
we stopped arguing who had failed,
love did not erase the distance,
and distance did not mean it
wasn't real. At the funeral lunch at St. Luke's,
we packed the leftovers in brown,
you carried home her coffee cup,
and I carried
your defenses down. At the funeral lunch at St. Luke's,
the choir folded every chair.
we left with less to accuse and
More than either one
could repair.
I took her cup.
I took the letters,
Did you read them?
only the ones she marked,
The church door closed. The rain had stopped.
and nothing felt finished.